Hello everybody, Jeremy here, and you know what's really hot right now? Skylanders. Skylanders are hot because they speak to two different audiences. A gaming audience and an audience who just likes toys. And often those two sides merge into people who like toys who also just happen to like games. And that's why Activision has made a ton of money on it. That's why Disney Infinity is coming out later this year, and that game is going to make a lot of money. But those are for consoles. So if you were looking for something that was the mobile equivalent to something like Skylanders, then perhaps you would like to check this out. The TabApp Elite. This name may sound a little bit familiar to you. HeroClix TabApp is something that's already out right now, and there's little figures in stores based on licensed property, Marvel and DC Comics, for example. And the idea behind it is you download a free app, and then using the figures, you put those figures on your tablet, and then you can perform special attacks against enemies that just sort of run up, and then you just keep on tapping the screen. And if you're Captain America, you throw a shield. If you're Thor, then those lightning bolts. Very simplistic, but we kind of see where they're trying to go with that, and something that kids would enjoy, but not so much for older people, because it was just tap, 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 and not very exciting. So they came back and tried to improve upon that formula with the TabApp Elite, and what you're looking at right here is called the Click Station. And the idea is that you take these new figures and you stick the figures into this contraption down here, and using a new HeroClix TabApp Elite application for iOS or Android, and it's a free app, you'll be able to play the different games that they have pre-installed on that app using different characters. Now, what characters are we talking about in general? Well, I just happen to have some to show you right now. So let's just move this over into the background and bring in our first character here. We have Batman. Batman is one of the first HeroClix TabApp Elite characters that you can get as part of a booster pack. And if we can just take a look at Batman for a second here, you see around the back, I think it's a pretty cool effect that he has on his cape. Looks like it's kind of flowing in the wind there. And then moving him around, he's got the traditional gray and black with his nice brass knuckles type thing on his costume there, and he is attached to this base that has 6 metal contacts, and these contacts are used to go directly down into the click station. And we will get to what these little dials are in just a minute. Another character that I have to show you is Superman. Everyone loves Superman, right? Not really. But Superman is actually the character who comes with the starter pack for the TabApp Elite. One of them. I've seen another one that's supposed to be coming out soon that contains Iron Man as part of the starter pack. But for this one, it was Superman. And so here's Superman. Of course, he's got that smug look on his face, and why wouldn't he? He's Superman. He's got his fists on his waist, daring anyone to challenge him. And I like his cape. You know, I really like the effect, both with Superman's cape and Batman's cape, of the moving in the wind. It's like he's standing on a mountaintop. And he too has the 6 connectors, or 6 metal contacts at the bottom. And last but not least, certainly not least, is Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman's a little bit different. She does not have the 6 contacts on the back, on the bottom of her base. Instead, she has these 3 rubberized grips to really prevent her from sliding around too much. And that is because Wonder Woman is a support character, meaning that you can't use her as a primary character, but you can use her as a support character, and you have 2 characters fighting on screen at one time. So if you can just get a good look at her. She has no cape, so there is no wind effect, but her hair does go off to one side, and she's got her lasso on her right side. And much like Batman, she is looking off to her left, and she is ready for a fight. Now, as I said earlier, let's talk about these dials that are on the characters here. Now, I should also mention that these characters are compatible with the HeroClix tabletop game. You also get a code to redeem the characters online if you play the HeroClix online game. But for the mobile application, the TabApp Elite mobile application in general, you see these yellow background icons here. You can switch the gameplay style that you want your character to have, the fighting style, if you will. So each character has 3 fighting styles. See, there's one for Batman, there's a second one for Batman that looks like a sword, and then there's another one that looks like a crown. And the very first one was kind of like a like yeah, someone in his crosshairs, like a headshot type thing. And then if you keep moving them, it's just a bunch of these numbers here, which I'm guessing is, you know, for the other TabApp tabletop game, something like that. But for the app, you're not going to be using this. So if we can start by the one that kind of looks like a headshot, according to the instructions, the headshot is for a ranged single target for ranged combat expert, penetrating, and psychic blast. Or if I want to play as another play style, let's move it over here. Let's say I wanted to use the sword. That is for a melee brute with special abilities like Quake, Blades, Claws, Fangs, and Poison. And then for the crown, that is a leadership role for Leadership, Perplex, and Mastermind. And you have to set what playstyle you want to use before the actual stage starts, because you can't switch it while the game is actually playing. You can find an icon and you can move your character over to that icon, and you can either switch your main character or switch his playstyle, but you know, you just can't do it whenever you want, because if you try to twist it, he'll come right out of the click station. So, just for comparison's sake, just how big are these figures, and can you take them off the base? No, you cannot take them off the base. But just to get an idea of how big they are, let's compare it to Lego Batman. So here's Lego Batman, and, well, he's a bit in the darkness. Here's Lego Batman compared to HeroClix Batman, and HeroClix Superman compared to Lego Superman, and finally Wonder Woman compared to Lego Wonder Woman. So, obvious big design difference. They are about twice the size of Lego. So, I'll give you an idea of how that works. Also, for the HeroClix station, right there, for the click station, rather, you can see along the side, this is a Superman design. This is the speaker grill right here. But this is mostly a Superman design. However, if you don't like Superman, and let's face it, a lot of people don't like Superman. I like Superman, but a lot of people don't. When you get the booster packs, you can also get these additional little inserts here. So this was for the Batman and Wonder Woman insert, and what you can do is just, I think it's around this side. Yeah, you can just put this in there and move it around, and then you can kind of have a two-sided, you know, here's Batman and Wonder Woman on this side, and then on the other side you have Superman. So, what else can I tell you about the Click Station? Yeah, it's operated by, I believe, 3 AAA batteries. This unit that I got came with batteries, but I'm not too sure if it's going to be like that once you get it from retail. I'm not too sure, but if it doesn't, then you just unscrew this right here, put the batteries in, put the screw back in, tighten it back up, and away you go. So now, let's play the actual game. Okay, so once we're ready to play, this is how it's all going to look like, and I switched the camera angle to give you a better idea of how everything looks. So right now, I have booted up the TabApp Elite application on the tablet, and I've got the Click Station in the back. So you can see the two characters that I have here to choose from are Batman for my primary character, and then there's Wonder Woman for my ally. So let's say that I don't want Batman as my main character. Let's say I want Superman as my character. So I just grab Superman here, I put him down on the Click Station, make sure that the arrows line up, and then we turn it clockwise, and this happens. And each figure has their own sound effect, if you will. So now that Superman is scanned in, and he was scanned in previously, but if he wasn't scanned in previously, then he would just appear that way. I could choose to play as him. So I'm going to do that, and I have no other secondary character. So we're gonna keep going forward, and there's a few different stages and a few different gameplay modes. And let me just zoom in here, move down a little bit so that you can see exactly what they look like here. So we've got Danger Island, the Azure Arena, oh, skipped one, the Mean Streets, the Steel Battle Zone, and Oil Rig Hideout. And the battle modes that we can choose to play as are Survival Mode and King of the Hill. Survival Mode is when you just compete against a whole bunch of random enemies for a certain period of time. It is not endless, and you will fight bosses along the way. And there's King of the Hill, where the goal is to defend 4 crashed satellites from the supervillains and their minions. The longer you successfully defend a satellite, the more points you score. Sounds like fun, right? Alright, so let's just get started. I have Superman equipped, and Superman is using high speed, running shot, hypersonic speed, phasing, and teleportation. And we are going to do this on, let's do the Oil Rig Hideout. Let's just do survival mode. Let's not do King of the Hill. Let's do survival, Oil Rig Hideout. And then there's different difficulty modes that you can choose from as well. Currently on Rookie, or if that's not good enough for you, you can have Veteran difficulty modes and Expert difficulty modes. So for the sake of the demo, we are going to do the regular Rookie level. And here are the enemies that you can face. You can select which enemies you want to fight. There's Two-Face, Mr. Freeze, Poison Ivy, Harley Quinn and the Joker, or you can choose from the Rogues of the Justice League. Let's see, we've got Cheetah, Lex Luthor, Brainiac, Bizarro, and Doomsday. Or the Rogues of Gotham City, which are Killer Croc, Mr. Zsasz, the Riddler, Solomon Grundy, and Ra's al Ghul. So let's just do let's do Rogues of the Justice League, since we are playing as Superman and Wonder Woman. Whoopsie, you don't want to do that. Alright, so before you start, you can use buy power-ups. You do start off with in-game currency. You do get it as you play the game, but you can choose to buy things that you can use instantly, such as a med kit, combat training, which is a passive ability which gives you a +2 bonus to your attacks. There's self-defense that gives you a +2 bonus to your defense. There's target practice, which is a +2 to your attack for a ranged weapon. There's hero upgrades that give you +1 bonus to the damage value for the duration of the scene, so it just keeps going until that scene is over. And of course, you can buy coins if you want. You don't have to though. So let's just play the game. Let's turn it up a bit too. So this is a survival mode, and what you do is you just tap on Superman to make him go, and you fight the bad guys as they come along. And what you can also use are these special abilities. Over on the right side, you see Superman has incapacitated, and he also has exploit weakness. And we're going to use those special abilities on the enemy. So if I want to incapacitate him, I press this, tap that. He's incapacitated. Me and Wonder Woman were beating him up. He's knocked out. There's another bad guy. Let's get him too. And that's the end of that wave. You can hold down on the character and see some passive abilities that they have. He has super strength, and he's impervious. And Wonder Woman has super senses and combat reflexes. So those are her passive abilities. You don't directly control Wonder Woman, but you can make her do stuff. You know, if I tap on her, and I can have her, well, we just beat that guy, and we can have her pick up items if we want. I believe you can do that. I forget exactly how you do that, but you can control her and make her do one-off things. She will not collect power-ups by herself. You can have her do, hey, do incapacitate Wonder Woman, and then she incapacitates him. So it's kind of like a teamwork thing going on here. And we can just choose to explore the stage. There's another bad guy there. And I do like the fact that she won't collect power-ups by herself. So this is the first, I believe, is that Cheetah that we're fighting against? Alright, so we're going to incapacitate her. Wonder Woman, attack that guy. Let Superman do all the work against the boss. Exploit weakness. Okay, so she took out that guy. The green squares at the bottom of the screen indicate the health of your hero. And we're about to take out Cheetah, and she is down for the count. Now let's go to this little black icon right here. And that allows us to switch characters if we want. So, you know, if I want to say, like, hey, you know, I want to be Batman now, I can become Batman. Oh, where's that? Okay. And Superman is still on the base, but because I've already registered Batman, I can choose to play as Batman. Or, alternatively, I can also take Superman off of the base, and I'm going to switch his attack style to be that of a defense and melee oriented style. So let's put him back in there. Alright, see right there it says heavy armor. I'm going to go back. Okay, and you see his attacks are different now. He has flurry, and he has, what does that say? Penetrating blast. So here are the bad guys again. You see now his main attack has changed. He's using heat vision this time, as opposed to just beating dudes. Alright, so we reached the end of that. Oh, here's a guy. So we're heat visioning him up, and there's occasional power-ups that you run into, so that gives me a bonus to my strength. And then there's other times where there's like an area effect stun special ability that you can use. When I tap on flurry, that lets me attack ×2. You can pinch and zoom to like kind of get a closer look on the combat. Probably should have had that active at first, but you can see what you're dealing with here. Alright, let's just zoom back out. And it's the weird thing, usually when you do like this, when you pinch in, that means go out, but it's kind of like reversed here. So, whatever. Alright, let's play as Batman now. I want to change my character. I want to be Batman. Who doesn't want to be Batman? So Batman comes swooping in. And he has stealth, and he has outwit. So let's see what that does. He's using his ranged attack. Outwit. So I don't know, maybe that just kind of takes the heat off of you. I'm not too sure. And there are cooldowns for some of these attacks. We just incapacitated that guy. And what you can do is just keep on tapping so that your character will just continuously move around. So you won't have to. You can barely see that guy. So you won't necessarily have to keep stopping and going. So now we are fighting against, is that the Riddler? Might be the Riddler. So we're going to incapacitate this guy. Batman stuck behind something? Yes, he is. Attack, Batman. Oh, Batman's going to go down. Incapacitate. And Batman has fallen. And these are the results. We have different minions defeated, bosses defeated. We can choose to redo the stage or we can go home. We are going to go home. And it has an achievements list for different things you can do. So as you can see so far, you know, this is the minions that I've managed to defeat. And the maps completed, I completed 1 map, and bosses defeated, I defeated 8 bosses. See how long you can survive in a single survival run, and I survived all 15 waves at one point. Single shot KOs, and these are for the different gameplay modes that you can use, that you can play as King of the Hill in survival. Here's the shop. If you want to buy coins in order to get all these power-ups, and the prices, you know, they're not crazy, like give me $99 for a whole bunch of coins. You know, it's not that crazy. Here are some villain packs and some hero and some figures that are coming soon. Maps that are coming soon. And the maximum that you can spend on token packs is $15 for 9,350 tokens, which, you know, as far as in-app purchases go, is more reasonable than a lot of stuff that we see. If you want some in-game tutorials, you can go here. It tells you how to put down the figure inside of the click station. It tells you what the different symbols on the base mean. So if you forget what leader does, or what high speed does, or what heavy armor does, you know, it tells you like, hey, that's what those symbols mean. Tells you about all the different power-ups that you run into. So if you forget which one causes a shockwave, then this can remind you. There's different hazards like spikes and poison that you can run into that will continuously hurt you. Let's see what else we got here. And then we have settings, music and sound effects. Nothing too amazing, but yeah, I think that just about wraps it up on what TabApp Elite is all about. Now, as far as pricing goes, the only place that I've been able to find this online, they were selling the starter packs for Superman, and then there was a starter pack for Iron Man that's not out yet. But it was $15 for that starter pack, and that starter pack got the TabApp, or the HeroClix station, the click station here, and it came with Superman, and that was 15 bucks. And then the booster packs for characters such as Batman and Wonder Woman were $10 a piece. So $10 for booster packs, $15 for the starter pack with the click station, and the app is free. So for 15 bucks, you can get in on this. It's a lot more detailed oriented than the first Tab app was. It was mostly just a lot of click, 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 click. You know, but at least now you get to choose different abilities. You get to choose what fighting style you want your character to have by moving this dial around. Different power-ups, items that you can use, which is all pretty neat. And the characters that you may have purchased for the original Tab app are compatible with this as well. And you can also use these characters for the HeroClix online game or the tabletop game. So nothing is obsolete, at least not yet. So yeah, there you go. That's the HeroClix TabApp Elite. A lot better than the first one, as far as I can see, and not so much as easy as that one is either. Now, don't get me wrong; it's still easy in its approach, but it's not just something to keep little kids busy because they all they want to do is tap on the screen. You have to think just a little bit, just a little, but it's decent, especially for $15 to give it a shot. What do you got to lose? So until next time, I'm Jeremy, and I'll see you.